Hi, beautiful sisters. I haven't stopped the song yet because I felt like I really wanted to have this as part of the opening for tonight. Yeah, we're getting to the chorus. I'd say there's probably lots of you out there that already know this song. Yeah, but I wanted it to be here with us tonight. There's 100,000 angels by your side. Whew. That the 100,000 Angels by Bliss seems like the appropriate song for us tonight. Yeah, tonight I'm going to be joined by another dear sister, and this sister that happens to be joining us tonight is also a mother of an angel. So we absolutely have the angels with us tonight, and I've just been creating the space and doing some smudging, and yeah, I was just watching the smoke, and even there was ash dancing through the whole room. There was just this amazing cloud, and yeah, I wish I could capture that. It was so beautiful. So it just really, for me, affirmed that we really are, we're being joined and we're being held tonight. So yeah, in that I want to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, the Guringai people, and I want to acknowledge all of the caretakers of the land wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Yeah, those people that have lived in connection and deep wisdom and deep reverence for this amazing place we live, called Earth, also with other names, Gaia, Pachamama, Gaia being the name of our dear sister Aline's baby girl too. So yeah, it all comes together beautifully. So I'm crossing my fingers after I feel like with the challenges of the first couple of calls, getting someone on, and then me having to do the talk last week by myself, I feel like I've taken up that space that I was being told I needed to. So I think we're gonna have an easy time connecting tonight with Aline. So I'm going to invite our dear sister to join us. So let's see. Oh. It's always an exciting waiting with bated breath time. But yeah, tonight we're going to be talking about not taking life too seriously. And I think that, yeah, doing this with another mother who walks this life without her baby here in the physical form, I think that that's I don't know, there's a part of me that's kind of like, this is possibly not the conversation that you might expect between two mothers of angels, but yeah, I guess that's where our journeys have led us. So I'm trying to get Aline. Can you see me? Oh, okay. We've just gotta wait, and yeah, hopefully she'll be back. She'll be back with us soon. Yeah. So tonight, yeah, I had a bit of a chat with Aline earlier today, and which was really lovely to connect with her. Yeah, and talking about the power of this time, and this time bringing us together. And here she is.
I did everything to get this right. And then as soon as it started, I had to change the screen of the phone and sorry, I'm here. Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello,
sister.
welcome.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here, and yeah, for figuring everything out. It's so lovely to have you here. So
I just don't know
sorry?
really well where I have to look. I just don't know. So I don't want to be looking down. I want to look at you. So I'm just figuring out if I look at the camera like that, am I looking at you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So do you want to maybe start by sharing a bit about yourself? Yeah, whatever you feel called to share about you.
Okay. So hello everyone, and I don't know who's watching it. I've never done this. This is very new for me. And yeah, so I'm Aline. So thanks, Megan. Thank you for having me tonight. And so as Megan was introducing me and explaining a little bit about my angel baby Gaia, so I am a mother of a Gaia, and I also help people on their spiritual and healing path through the practice of Kundalini yoga and sound healing and energy healing and meditation and spiritual coaching. As you can see from my accent, I am Brazilian and have been living in Australia for 7 years now. And yeah, I think that that's all about me.
Yeah.
I think that that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, welcome, and yeah, I've been blessed to get to sit in one of your healing sessions. I've sat in your groups as well, and yeah, they're very, very powerful and real and just honest. Yeah, yeah. I think that's something that, yeah, the real depth and honesty in what you bring. Yeah, yeah. So I'm glad to have you here tonight. So we talked a little bit today. I was just before you joined. I was just sort of saying how when we spoke earlier today, we were sort of just talking about this being like we've just had the eclipse, and there's the Lionsgate, and there's just big energies around at this time, and yeah, I guess I felt the need to kind of presence that, because I know that for me, yeah, today there's been lots going on, and just remembering and coming back to that has been quite helpful.
Yeah, because we are experiencing very intense times, all of us at our collective levels and our personal levels, and I just look around and we can just look at our planet and the state of our, politics and the conflict between countries and all of that, so we see how intense things are. And today, particularly when we were talking about, today is a very important day because it's the Lion Gate portal, and it's why it happens in the 8th of August, so the 888 portal. And that is it is considered a time of rebirth of Earth. And the meaning, I'm not, like as I was explaining to you this morning, I'm not it's not my area of expertise, astrology and all of those astrological events. I just know that at a personal level for myself. So this morning, for example, I went with a group of women just to do ceremony and meditate at the sunrise as we see the moon just coming down and you see the sun rising and that beautiful nature around you in that powerful time, and all of us together meditating on that, so as we welcome this energy that's coming through and this time of rebirth for all of us. So and that's what I'm saying, that what I know is that what I commit to myself and understand for myself and the journey in the way that's unfolding for me. But in saying that, today it is a very, very important and how do I say, energetically very strong time. And it's the time that it's good for us just to reflect, what is it that we're shedding light on and transforming, and what is it that we're bringing into the new? So what is the rebirth? So what we're birthing into the new? What aspects of ourselves that we can see, that we can embrace, that we can transform, and then we can bring the new into it. So yeah, so then I was so excited about coming with you tonight, because for me it has been this rebirth since Gaia. And 2 years ago when she passed away and I had the near-death experience that I had, and when I stayed in hospital, for me it was a rebirth in every aspect of my being, because I became really sick and I lost a lot of blood and I had a lot of transfusion. So I had to receive a lot of blood and a lot of transfusion and a lot of plates. So physically was changing and transforming even like my whole blood in my body. And at the same time was that experience that I left my body for a few seconds, and that when I came back, and I came back actually 2 days later, but really that experience of being out of body was a few seconds, and I at that time I experienced such an amazing feeling, and I experienced such a beauty and a loving flow of divine cosmic energy in my heart. There was no fear and there was nothing. There was just this pure bliss. But at the same time, things was very chaotic at what was going on. And some level, I had the consciousness of what was going on. With all of that, when I came back out of that event, and I could kind of start realizing what was going on, there was a rebirth for me. And since that day, with Gaia, things have changed considerably in the way that I see life, in the way that I relate with life. So coming with you today, because since I had my journey with Gaia, I've been observing your journey with Kai. And you know how much I appreciate you and how much I honor you. And having the opportunity to sit with you on the day of rebirth, where you started this beautiful project for women that you are sharing and bringing sisters of power and integrity, is just something that is beyond my words, how honored I am to be here. And that's, yeah, and then we can, all of us, come into the awareness that there is so much going on at a collective or at a personal level. So then we can just take one day at a time and take the time to really observe and to really get to know and awaken that wisdom within ourselves of what is really happening, and we can see. And today is the day for us to see as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing all of that. Like such a massive experience, and yeah, that like hearing you talk about that, and I guess like hearing about your experience of that feeling of that divine cosmic energy that you were in, while, you know, on the physical plane everything was in chaos. And yeah, when we were talking about what we're gonna talk about today, about not taking life too seriously, like, yeah, there's things are like on this planet right now in the physical, yeah, in this physical plane, things are pretty chaotic. You know, there's we don't even need to go into the specifics. We know that there's just so much going on. And so, yeah, like thinking about how, because it's easy, and like, yeah, we have those personal experiences. And I know for me, like, you know, we've both experienced the death of a child, and I guess, yeah, you had your near-death experience, and my near-death experience came later. It wasn't, yours was all bundled up together. Mine came later down the track, when I actually had to make a decision. I had to decide, do I stay in this physical plane or do I go? And if I decide to stay, then I've got to stay, and I've got to step back in and, you know, be here and, yeah, really, yeah, come into my being on every level.
For sure.
But yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I think that when you asked me what was present for me, and then I brought up this idea of not taking life too seriously, there's a few things around that I would like to bring up tonight. Because, for example, talking about this experience that both of us we had, this is so serious, yeah. So this is something so dramatic and so tragic, and yeah. So, but with that experience for me, I could see the magic of life. Yeah. And before that experience, I used to take life too serious myself. I used to be very harsh on myself with things and be very worried about what other people think of me, how I would look like, how I would be perceived. And I would to be very worried about my job and my work, and having to do a very great, amazing job and know that I'm performing at a high level, and get very stressed with my job. And then relationships, you know, when you break up relationships, when there is a fight in a relationship, so, and you're wanting that attention. So you take things in life, all the aspects of it, very seriously. And financially, money-wise, you get very worried about money, and you get very worried about so many little things that are actually very unimportant. But for that reality that we live in, for our day-to-day living, those things are very important, and those things are very real. But that happens because we forget, and we haven't forgotten the real meaning of us being here. And what is really life about? Because there's so much about it, and it's so magical about it, that when we got caught up into those worries and into those just day-to-day aspects of it, we get so caught up in it that we forget, and we start taking things very seriously, and we start becoming very rigid in the ways of being, because everything we're trying to fulfill the desires and the needs that we have for this life that we think that is so real. So, and then you forget about having fun. Then you forget about being and playful and enjoying, and and relaxing and having fun and enjoying these little things that is just being around your friend on a day like today that you see the sunrise together. So you forget of those things. So, and I used to be like that. And after being pregnant with Guy and after the experience with Gaia was that something very deep inside me was healed. And that need to be so serious and take things so right, and that pain in the heart, that heaviness that I used to carry in the heart, that all disappeared. So, and I was able to start.
Paused. Oh, we've lost her. We'll just give Aline a moment to come back to us. But yeah, what I was, yeah, there was just so many things, I guess, like coming from what Aline was saying and sharing with us there. Yeah, and the thing that was coming, like, for me was like getting focused on, like, having quite a narrow focus on things, and the things that we start to think are like these things, they are important, but I guess the level of importance and the level of stress that we can put onto these things, yeah, that can look different. I'm just going to see if I can find, oh, there she is. See if we can get her back. Yeah, being able to kind of come back out and have a bigger picture. And yeah, I think part of my experience. Ah, oh, yes, she's back.
I don't know what happened. So should I just go on what I was saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I was saying is that then I start reflecting on those things, and I'll start. So, and then I was saying, after Gaia, I was just seeing life, and I was like, yeah. So what is the meaning for all this? So I now know very, very deep inside me through my own personal experience that it's not about what I was living with, just these all aspects of the day-to-day living. And then I was also reflecting about the spiritual path and this concept of us learning our lessons and being here to evolve and being here to grow and being here to purify our spirits. And then yes, that's all through. And we also here to enjoy. And we also here to enjoy being human, to enjoy being in the physical body. And that it's something, when I really gave myself that permission, that I realized that, and I gave myself that permission, everything became much easier. When I started just like, yeah, just relax and don't take things as serious as that, because there's so much more. And on improving yourself and developing your being as well. Don't take that so seriously. Don't try too hard, because what I see today at a collective level with the group of clients that I work with, the people that I assist and I support on their healing journey, on their spiritual path, what I see is that these two types and ways of being, which is one, when we forget that there is more than just life and just this physical reality of life that we see right now, that there is this great aspect of you that's eternal and infinite and unlimited. And as I said, it's eternal. So it goes on, it continues on, and there is a bigger journey. So there's either the people that have forgotten that needs to be remembered of it, so that they can relax more in their lives and find themselves again. And there is the people that have awakened to that and have accepted that and resonated with the concept of being an eternal being of light, but then start taking things too seriously because it needs to evolve and needs to change. And I experienced that on a very, very simple level, for example, of clients of mine that now want to be on a vegetarian diet or want to become vegan. But then they're not yet there, but they're so harsh on themselves one day that they feel that they want to eat meat, and then they eat meat. And that becomes a very serious thing. And then becomes a pattern of building themselves up and being so judgmental on themselves and so harsh on themselves that doesn't serve their purpose either. Or we get too obsessed about analyzing our patterns, because when we are on this spiritual path, which I call the healing journey, which is coming back to the wholeness that we are, when we are on that journey, we then start really analyzing too much sometimes. And we also, it's a fine line as well. So then we start analyzing too much, and then we start being obsessed by our own patterns. So everything that happens in our lives, we're analyzing our patterns. So, oh, that's a pattern of mine. Oh, how do I change this? I need to change that, and I need to do that. And so then I shouldn't be doing that. I already know that that doesn't serve me. Why I'm going there again? Why I'm saying this again? So and then becomes again very rigid, and becomes again very serious. What is really serving me at the moment, and what I see that serves a lot of people that I have the blessing to work with, it's learning the lesson of acceptance and the lesson of trust. Because trust and acceptance will bring you into a space that you'll be able to be present, because you know and you accept that whatever is in your present moment is the best that you can receive right now. It's exactly the perfect experience and the perfect people around you, the perfect situation that you have to receive what you need. It may not be what you want, but it's exactly what you need. And if you trust that, and if you accept that reality, which is your present moment, if you're able to be in your present moment through that trust in high spirits and in yourself and in life as well, then you're able to relax. And when you're able to relax, you can take life less seriously. And it doesn't mean that there is no responsibility when you're less serious, because there is that association as well with responsibility being something that's hard, being something that's heavy, being something that needs to be serious. There is a few people that associate with that. And responsibility has nothing to do with being too serious or too rigid. It has just to know that the responsibility is that feelings, that knowing that you are the creator of your reality and why you're creating. So you start taking responsibility for yourself, for who you are. And you start taking responsibility for accepting who you are, for trusting yourself, for loving yourself most of all. So when we bring this topic of taking life less seriously, this is just like the ice on the cake, because as soon as you're really going to go deeper into it, it brings you into this lesson of acceptance and trust, starting with yourself, with self-acceptance, with self-trust, and with self-love. So then you can cultivate that inner sanctuary for you based on those foundations. And through that inner sanctuary that's strong, that is whole within it, you can then align yourself with that flow of life as well. Because acceptance is being in flow, yeah? And acceptance is a beautiful thing, because it awakens the feeling of, or that state of serenity. Because in acceptance, you can just be serene, because you're just in flow. You just know that everything is placed exactly where it should be, and it's very perfect. And trusting yourself and trusting life, you open for that divine flow, and you know that there is more. And then you trust that there is more, because you just think it becomes that dance and that flow between you and life. Yeah, so being playful and being more childlike is extremely important for us to deal with this chaos that we were talking about before. because there is chaos in all levels, in collective global level, and chaos in personal level, and probably there are chaos in spiritual level as well. There is that, the spiritual chaos out there, which, I don't know much, but I believe that there is, and
Yeah.
and that's, yeah. But in the chaos, there is also beauty. In the messy, there is beauty. Everywhere there is beauty, because beauty is just what we are. And yeah, so that's very amazing when we're able to tap into that and feel it, because intellectually we know that really well. Intellectually it's easy to be talking ourselves through, but what really changes our experience is the feeling. So when we want to relax more, and when we want to be more playful with life, we have to really feel lighter. And if we're not there yet, we're going to work towards it, and we're going to fake until we make it. And that is the way that we're going to do the things and take the tools that will help us to keep strong on the practice. And if the practice is that I need to relax, I'll use my breath to relax. I use music to relax. I use the tool that it is handy, that it serves me, that can help me to relax. And to then, because then once I've used those tools and I've learned that, then I can be offering that to myself without so many things that I need to rely on. It becomes just very natural. But why we're not natural, why it's not there, we use the tools that we need. And yeah, I think that's all that I wanted to say. Because yeah, and then we just allow ourselves. It's giving permission as well. It's an important thing. It's giving ourselves permission, because we judge ourselves so much and we don't give ourselves permission. So in being more childlike, an easy thing to do is to watching a child. Yeah, so I can see that Sister Carmen, I love you, you're there. So I'll talk about your beautiful child, Noah. That's the best one to watch, because he's just so playful and so happy and so relaxed. That is amazing. And he's just focused on what is in front of him. And it's just amazing. So, and it's the same thing. If we want to be more childlike, we just watch how playful they are and how they just shift things very quickly and be fully in the present. And and it's just naive. It's just simple. It's the simplicity of the child, I think, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much in all that you said then. And just thinking about. Sorry, I'm getting feedback. I don't know if it's from me or from you. So I guess that when we kind of hold on to how things are meant to be and how they should be, being in that, and I know that for me in my journey when Kai passed away, and I still have those moments when I go there and I guess that is even like to a point. There's even a physicality to this. This isn't how things should be. Like this shock. Like I've been pregnant and went through labour, and now I'm here without a baby. Like can't get that together. But and working to get to a point of, should, like, this is how it is, and I am here. And one of those things like you talked about, those things, the practices that we can do. One practice that helped me was actually just starting to find beauty, like just like a beautiful moment in the day, just really becoming present to a beautiful, just a beautiful moment, and just starting to feel that appreciation and love for life again and for what is surrounding me. So that was one of mine. And I think today even coming like in that should, like what work is meant to look like, what I should be doing. If I'm working, then I should be doing this, this, and this, and kind of letting that go. And like that part that is saying should is still there, and kind of being able to go, I hear you, and what's happening here is that like we don't need to go with the shoulds. Things are going to look different, and relax into that and enjoy it. Like I can do things differently and appreciate what is here now. And like you said as well, when we can get into that trust and acceptance, it opens us up to actually start to listen and notice the next steps on the path. Like it's when we're like you've said rigid, and I think I was saying like in this narrow, like looking at things just like this rather than the bigger picture. That's, you know, if something comes in from that way, we can't really see it. We're not there to be able to, like the child, be able to kind of go, oh, what's that happening over there? Because we're focused too narrowly. So when we start to accept and just kind of, have that childlike curiosity of what's happening, like I'm on this planet, like this is crazy. How did, like, I'm here in this amazing place, like babies are born, and like how does that even happen? Like, and I'm here living, like wow. And everything that's out there, the opportunities that we have, and to be able to be in that, and then like you said, be in the flow and be able to go with life as it comes in, and go, actually I'm gonna, like, you know, I'm in this place, it's not feeling great, and I can see that there's another opportunity that way. I can actually take a step that way, and I can make a decision to shift things. Yeah,
totally. And the should, as you're saying, the should, and the should teaches me that there's an aspect of me, there's an aspect in there that is still resisting. There's an aspect that it's not accepting the present moment the way it is. Somehow it's escaping from that present moment. And it's not fully in acceptance yet. And it's just, as you said, it's just we observing it and being able to be very gentle and say, oh yes, I hear you. I say that, I see you there, and I hear this. Thank you for offering that. And I choose this now. For now, this serves more, and I choose that. And I even don't conflict mind much, like the way that I direct myself and I guide myself. I don't conflict mind very much with like, yeah, I know, but I want to do something different. Yeah, I see that, but this is that. Or no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. I talk to myself very gently, and I talk in the way that, oh yeah, I see this, I hear this. Thank you for your offer. Thank you for the contribution. I'm now choosing this because I also think that that's going to serve best right now. And as you were saying, there was a few things that I felt that I need to clarify as well. As I was saying about my experience when I gave birth to Gaia, and I was saying about this blissful moment that I had when I had this out-of-body experience. It doesn't mean that there wasn't hard times. It doesn't mean that I didn't have my emotions, like that emotional experience that you have when I don't even need to explain that to you. You know that really well, but losing a child is wow, it's the experience of life. Yeah. So I said that to you as well this morning. So I believe that that is the experience of my life. And there was very hard moments, and still times that when I put my attention into that experience, and I kind of like, whoa, that is surreal. I can't believe that one day I was pregnant and one day this has happened. And oh my gosh. And then I just call her in and then communicate with her in another level. And I just like, oh yes, I'm present again. So the thing is that what I find that's very powerful, it's accepting whatever space you are in, because it can be a blissful moment, but can be a very devastating experience as well, very awful feeling and painful and sorrow or trauma, whatever is in there in your reality, is that you are able to be gentle and soft with whatever is presenting to you. Because in the flow of acceptance and trust, you know that it's perfect and you trust that it's perfect. So then you're able to be gentler with you, because even the things that you don't like, the feelings that you don't like, the space that you wanted to come out will change, will shift, because everything is changing and shifting and is impermanent. So that will shift. But while you are there, while it's not shifting, while the place is dark sometimes, you just be there and you just sit with you and you just watch and do your best again. You go into your practice again because you want to escape. The mind wants to go away. You want that feeling to go away. You want to just like, get me out of here. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to really go there. But then you just like, and then you breathe again. You get your practice again. Is that through the breath? Is that through going to a healing, going to a circle? It's doing shamanic practice. It's connecting with earth. There's so much available to us. We're very lucky. We're very abundant. There's so much available to us. So much available for free on the internet. It can teach us whatever. There is a lot of access to things. And but it's that gentleness, it's that softness of being able to be there with you in that acceptance, in that trust, in that love. You don't have to change your experience. You will want to change. But remember, I receive what I need, not what I want. So I sit here and I serve me in the way that's best. For you was seeing one thing that is beautiful every day. For a lot of people, is the gratitude practice, whatever it is. Find something that connects you back into the flow of life, that it's flowing through you, it's flowing in you. Connect yourself back with this greater divine source of intelligence that you can call nature, universe, God, star of Sirius, that a lot of people are saying about that today. And you can call any name. I love the goddesses, and yeah, because divine is just divine. There's so many elements and aspects of that manifest into different things. So choose what it is for you.
Yeah.
But you need the anchor. Yeah, so the people that don't have an anchor of something greater than themselves, when things go downhill, when life breaks, they break together with life, because there is nothing that anchors those people. So if a person doesn't believe that there is something greater than themselves that connects everyone together, all of us together, all this nature, all this living being that's our planet as a whole, if we don't believe that there is this greater intelligence, that it's growing our nails, circulating our blood, digesting our food, an element of us that it organizes itself, it creates itself, organizes itself, it transforms itself, and we don't need to think. It has been always here, it's going to be always here, it's beyond us, during our time here, before us, beginning and endless. So if we don't trust an intelligence like that, then if something goes wrong, we break together with that. And yeah, so so that's
nothing to hold on to. There's, I guess in it, like, for my experience, I was in a place that there wasn't anything to hold on to. I didn't know what I believed anymore, and have taken the time to kind of, you know, pick up the pieces and kind of come back. But yeah, having that place, that trust in something bigger, and yeah, that interconnectedness, and yeah, this is where we are, and this is the perfect place. Yeah, it is. Without that, like, yeah, I that point, my near-death experience, it wouldn't have been near death. That would have been it. It would have been that stepping out, but I did have something where it may not have been like didn't have much of a grasp, maybe just a little finger holding onto it, but at least having that, I was able to kind of, yeah, find my way to get my hands back around it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. And one thing that I said that I would like to reinforce, it's bringing that into feeling, because feeling is the experience, feeling is the heart, feeling, and the heart is the power of healing. So we intellectualize first, and we work with our minds and observing our minds and soothing that mind and calming that mind and bringing that mind into neutrality. But if just like, for example, practice like positive affirmation alone is not going to work if you don't work on cultivating the feeling that you are bringing together with those words, because those words are codifying an experience. It's a code, and it carries in itself an energy, a frequency. So open the heart to receive that frequency. So as you say words to yourself, as you reassure yourself, as you remember things to yourself, bring that into feeling, bring that into the experience. So if I say, I accept life in its full abundance, and life is here, and I'm playful, and I'm a childlike. And so how does it look like for you? How does it sounds like? How does it taste like? How do you know how it feels like? So really connect with that, and imagine yourself into that experience and create that for you, either through taking actions that helps you to create those feelings for you, going out with friends, having a good laugh, or watching a nice movie, listening to a good music, reading a book, whatever experience that takes you there, or just really visualizing and meditating and contemplating that experience. But feeling something very important in awakening that, or aligning with that flow.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I feel like you were talking about like speaking, like the way that you being with yourself when you're in that darkness, or the not wanting to be where you are. And like, yeah, today it was all about that compassion for that part of me that's like got this sense of urgency, like this work you're doing, like it's really important, you've got to get it out there, you've got to do this work. And so there's anxiety there, and I'm just, I hear you, and I get that there is this urgency, and thank you, and we're also just gonna like take it easy. Like let's enjoy it. And there's other pieces, like these other things that I'm doing that may not look like what work the way that I've understood it before would look like. This is part of the work, and that, you know, shifting of what I thought things would look like into somewhere different. And yeah, coming back to that compassion, that self-compassion for that part that's not quite in that acceptance and that trust, and that yeah.
And and compassion and compassionate heart, it brings to me another element of that. As we were saying, taking life too serious is just the ice of the cake. So now we talk about acceptance and talking about trust and talking about compassion. So we need to bring forgiveness into it. Because in order to be like to bring that state of lightness, yeah, because relaxing to life and being more childlike, it's like it makes life lighter. So forgiveness, it's the power to bring that lightness, because there's so much that we have to forgive about our own journeys, yeah? Because every human being, most of us, have experienced a trauma somehow. Someone has done something to us that we felt that was very terrible, that really wounded us. Or we have done something to ourselves as well and to others that we can't forgive ourselves. And so forgiveness, it's a power that we have, because that, if we learn to forgive things in our lives, and even when we can't forgive, we forgive ourselves for not being able to forgive that yet. It already brings an element of lightness into it. There are things that's hard to digest, and there are things that she's not ready yet. But then we keep like, I don't know how to say this, like roaming that in there, ruminating. That's how you say. I don't know if you say that in English, but you say in Portuguese. So you're ruminating that, and you're not processing it. So sometimes it is hard, but then you just say, yes, okay, so I forgive myself that I'm not yet there, that I'm not ready. So, and then I'm accepting it. So then things become light again and I can relax again. So, but ideally, you bring that element of forgiveness again until you're ready to forgive, because the ultimate goal is that you're really able to forgive. And when it's in relationship with other people, we may not be ready to be friends again or to be closer again, but when we forgive inside ourselves, we're able to heal that cycle, that energy of that relationship, if that is genuine, real forgiveness. Yeah. And as if we get there, we're just gonna, yeah. So forgiveness is a power of the compassionate heart.
Yeah.
That is so important in becoming lighter and taking things less seriously as well, and understanding that, oh my gosh, there's just a little boy like me or a little girl like me that it's trying to be an adult and it's trying to get this whole thing together, but it's everyone kind of like not getting this at all, and we pretending that we get it, and we study our patterns and we watch ourselves and we talk about it. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we just want to have fun and have a good laugh and have a good experience. So let's create this for ourselves, yeah?
Yeah, yes, that a thing that like we see other people and think, wow, they've got it together.
Yes.
How do they know what they're doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm fumbling around this place. It's like, yeah, no, we all are.
Yeah, we all are. Some has just thought like, okay, I surrender, open this throat chakra, and that is divine will. So take it over. I hand that back. Just, okay, I am eternal, so I'm not going to play the survive level anymore. I know that I'm going to survive because I will know there's no way that I'm going to die. So it's all perfect. This pattern of survival that we have, I need to survive, I need to protect myself, put my walls and protect me and make sure that I'm safe and control everything. Oh, it's all perfect. No. It's just like, let go, ride the wave, be there. And if that goes wrong, you are protected and blessed all the time. So there's no way to go wrong. Something will go right just after that. So keep there, keep trusting.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Oh, so beautiful, so perfect, of course. I could sit here and talk to you about this for days, I think. I just want to keep going and keep going. Yeah, but we will wrap it up. Yeah, but I'm so grateful for your sharing of your experience and all of the wisdom and insight, and this, like, it was of course perfect, and just for the experience that I've been having for my life. And yeah, especially today, like, yeah, being able, it's helping me with the integration of lots of work that I've been doing lately as well. So Yeah, thank you so much for being here. And I wanted to also, yeah, just acknowledge Kai and Gaia and all and everything else that's been with us here as well. It's such a blessing and to be walking with you, beautiful mother. Um, yeah, so thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I really want to thank you again, and I want to thank everyone that watched this whole video and watched that for the full length or just a little bit or even just this bit that I'm saying now. And yeah, so it's very precious to be having conversations like that, and it's very precious that we all can reflect on our own journeys and about ourselves and how we're taking things and how we are playing around and managing this whole thing. And yeah, and if I can just take just 2 seconds, just 2 minutes, just
Yeah.
for us to take a breath, so then we can just close our eyes. If we can close our eyes together now, and maybe bring the palm of your hands, the left hand on top of your heart, and then the right hand on top of your left. And you just stop there for 1 minute and come into your breath. Come into your breath as you feel your heart beating. And you feel this physical heart pumping the blood, the oxygen into every cell. And you're just breathing and feeling that flow of life that you invite at each breath that you take. I'd like to invite you to bring your awareness, your full attention to your breath. And start acknowledging and considering how divine is your breath, how sacred that is. The breath is that what keeps you alive, is that flow of life for you. You can live without food, you can live without water, without shelter, without so many things. But if you don't take your next breath, you're no longer here. So if there is one aspect that's divine about you, that's your breath. And your breath is so divine and so powerful that your breath has the power to calm you down, to help your nervous system to regulate itself, to heal itself. So the mind follows the breath and the body follows the mind. So the breath soothes the mind and brings balance into the body-mind system. So that when things get too hard, when things get too serious, too broken, too dark, come into that space, come into that breath. And when it's hard to trust, when it's hard to accept, when fate is no longer there, come into the breath and watch it. Don't escape, don't run away, just watch the breath as long as you need, until you feel that something has shifted and can give you that experience of your power that comes through the peaceful and calm heart that the breath can take you there. So thank you so much. And I hope that you play a lot and you laugh a lot and you make a lot of people to laugh with you, because that's the best therapy ever. Love you. Love you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And is there anything about your work that you wanted to share or mention before we go as well? Anything that's coming up?
If anyone that watched it and wants to connect more with me and wants to be part of my community, which is your community, which is all of our communities together. So if you want to be closer to me, I would love that. Maybe just like the Facebook page, because there I share everything about the things that I do, the works that I facilitate, like the workshops, the classes, everything is in there. So if anyone feel that wants to connect more and resonates with me and with what we talk about, and yeah, just connect to the Facebook, that would be awesome, and I will love that. And please come and say hi, I was there.
Yeah, well, you can share it.
What's
If
new?
you share it in the group, then that'll be an easy way for people to find you as well.
Okay, cool. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
wonderful. Thank you. Love you very much. Thank you.
Love to you.
Thank you.
And next
Bye.
week we have the beautiful Tanya joining us, and we're going to be talking about what feminine power and what women's power is, what it means and what it looks like. So that should be...
I love that topic. Yeah.
Yes.
Love that.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you, Aline. Thank you all beautiful sisters for joining us. And we'll connect again soon. So much love.
So much love. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.